Hello and welcome to the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. I am Mr. Sanjeet De from the Department of Economics. In the previous video, we studied that econometrics is a science and art of studying economic data and measuring the empirical validity of economic theories using various mathematical and statistical tools. However, economics is not only about numbers and equations, and rather it helps us to generate insightful information from raw set of data. Now, if we see that using econometrics, one can test various economic theories and models. Say for example, we have consumption function which says C is equals to C bar plus by, where C stands for consumption and B stands for income. Now, we know that income is an independent variable and consumption is dependent upon the income. Using the econometric analysis, we can check whether this model is applicable in real world scenarios or not. So, econometrics helps us to check various econometric models such as the consumption function, or you can also take saving function for your understanding. Next is, it helps us to establish a causal relationship between the two variables. Let us take consumption function again, where C is equals to C bar plus by. Now, we know that as income increases, consumption also increases. But causal effect will help us to understand that rise in income is actually causing this rise in consumption. So, there is a causation which is established between two variables, that is income and. Moving on to the third usage of econometrics, that is forecasting economic trends. Now, econometrics studies the historical data of the past and tries to predict what could possibly happen in the future. So, it helps us to predict what can happen in the near future. Say for example, hypothetically let us say an economy of let us say a country X has reached 1 trillion in the year 1990s, let us say 1990. It takes it next 15 years to reach $2 trillion. Similarly, it might take next 10 years to reach its third trillion, and so on and so forth. Using the econometric analysis, we can predict that by which year that country X could reach a GDP of let us say 10 trillion US dollars. So, econometric analysis or econometric tools will help us to predict the possible future which we can achieve using numbers or the historical facts. Based on this historical fact, there can be various policy measures which can be taken into consideration, and econometrics helps or guides decision making for the future. Let us say Indian economy after 1990 faced a huge income inequality. That is, the top 10% rich acquires more than 50% of our national income, and the bottom 15 is acquiring less than 15% of our national income. Now, using this econometric modeling, we get to know that from the past trend that this inequality can increase further, and this has actually helped us that now the government would know that India needs to work upon its rising income inequality, and hence various beneficiary schemes will be implemented for the bottom 15% of the population. Now, once the policy has been implemented, government can consider it while implementing the policy, government can consider that what could be the possible outcomes. Let us say there is MG Narega. Now, MG Narega ensures employment for the poor population for 100 days. Now, MG Narega can contribute towards your reduction in inequality by ensuring 100 days of employment to the poor population. Similarly, any other beneficiary schemes like, let's say, PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, where the government of India gives 6,000 rupees annually in 3 installments to our Indian farmers. So, government of India can, using the econometric modeling, can predict that okay, by this implementation of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, we would be able to reduce our income inequality by, let's say, 2%. So, this is how econometric modeling can be used in not only taking policy decisions, but also we can predict what could be the possible outcomes in the near future. And last but not the least, that is evaluating policy effectiveness. Government of India, after taking a decision, predicting what could be the possible outcome and implementing it, it can use econometric modeling to consistently monitor the progress of the policy which has been implemented and what are the possible benefits which are taking place in the economy. This can be taken for long-term predictions also, where we can see that if hypothetically, let's say, the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi is reducing the income inequality, let's say by 2%, then if the trend goes on, we can, let's say, reduce it by 5%. So, these all can be helped, or these all are various uses which econometrics can serve in real world application considering the modelings and the numerical data. Thank you very much.